I don't know what's going on, but I know some high-level Florida was going on because my Florida senses be tingling. I already knew it. Only in Florida. I'm just glad I got it on my flip phone.
Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on Twitch and YouTube. Come hang out and join us, and you might actually know the guest that we're going to get to momentarily.
Yeah.
This is a big deal.
On Zoom with us right now to promote his OMGitsWICKS and Friends comedy tour all throughout Florida.
Yeah, yes.
We've got Wicks on Zoom. How you doing, dude?
I'm all right. Thank y'all for having me. How y'all doing, by the way?
Very good to see you, man. And, this is the CEO of Florida Sketch Comedy.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, that's the guy. I mean, that is the guy. When other people walk outside and try to give us, those of us as viewers, a little taste of Florida, they're just copying. This is the guy. Hey, how did you start, and I'm going to just maybe to jump in front of it, were you active on social media pre-pandemic, and were you trying to break into entertainment? Like, how did you even start on TikTok, Instagram?
No, it really wasn't something I was pursuing. I had a podcast like back in 2018-ish. My daughter just kind of created this TikTok account, and when they sent everyone in the house, I started like watching and learned that you can actually do, sketch comedy on there, because from what I knew, it was Musically. So it was like a dancing app for like kids.
Sure. Yeah.
When she brought it to me, I was like, okay, I got a bunch of nieces and nephews. I can kind of just watch whatever they're doing. And like I said, I discovered that I can make sketch comedy. I've always been a fan of sketch comedy. And one day the Florida sun was beating me up, and then there we go.
Yeah. I love it, man. That's killer.
Wicks, when did you start realizing, like, I can make something out of this? This can be a career. What was a turning point?
I mean, I think I'm still realizing that at this point.
Sure.
Every day is a new adventure for me. So, but I think around the end of 2020
Wow.
is when it like started growing. Like I was getting like, growing like 20,000 followers, a day, or 100,000. Like it just kind of went by fast. I don't even know how it went. I know I was at 1,000, and then I woke up one day and I was at 100,000, and it just kind of went on from there.
Yeah, and just to give people an idea, and I'm not trying to make you flex your muscles or anything, but what are we sitting at now? Like, what would you be, to give our audience an idea of your reach?
Yeah.
What is your number? Because you got to know, right? Or is that something maybe you're a little more distant from because you're in the world and you have a big audience?
I'll check every now and again, or people normally tell me.
Gotcha.
Because I'm more focused on the connection and the more the engagement part of it. But I think it's at almost 1.7 million.
Yeah, that's
We're closing in on 1 point, and that's just on TikTok. Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook are whole different stories. So
yeah, gotcha.
So your reach is, especially I think I saw you post the other day that you had, or TikTok sent you some information that said you had 200 million views or some ridiculous number like that.
I think so.
It was.
See, I like that. That's very nonchalant. I like that. Yeah,
400 million.
Oh, 400 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, so only 200 million more than
So
what you had quoted, you
I did not-
idiot.
Yeah, when I said 200 million, I was like, oh man, that's stupid. That's way too much.
I don't want to point this out, but when they insulted Kanye's number, he walked off the set. And that's when he was full Nazi. That's when he was full Nazi. Remember that? They got his number.
Yeah.
He said, that's disrespectful. Wicks should walk right off. We could do the Florida man. Kanye, he just walks right off. He's like, you owe me a pub sub. That's ridiculous.
I'll take the pub sub, though.
Okay, you got it.
Don't turn down pub sub.
No, never. It's in our blood.
So Wicks are like at this point, I'm sure people recognize you, in public.
Our chat room's doing that right now. Like a lot of our chat room didn't know you were going to be on today because we don't promote things because we're very bad at what we do. And the whole chat room is going crazy. Like, oh, flip phone activate. Like everybody knows they know, shaking my Florida head. Like they know the catchphrases have you had to sit down now that it is serious and now that you've stepped away from the day job? I'm guessing you have. By the way, what was the day job? Can we ask that? What were you doing?
I was in a call center. So I was just in a call center doing customer service, and then, like I said, they sent us home to work from home. But before that, we had to like, because it kind of just happened, so they
Yeah.
weren't prepared for it. But yeah, I was just at a call center, and this just happened.
What
And
a
once,
waste of an entertainer, though, right? Like when you think about it,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's such a microcosm of like you got this guy in a call center that could be putting smiles on people's faces or doing something completely different.
Wicks, I'm curious of your process when you go and you start thinking of a sketch to do. Do you go through multiple and then pick the best one? Do you just put whatever you get together and see if it works? And if it doesn't work, do you take it down? Like,
Yeah,
I'm curious
that's a good
with
question.
how
How serious he is about it?
like
Yeah.
one like how influencers, especially like sketch comedy on social media, like what's the process of putting up a video?
For me, I kind of so most of mine are like life experiences. So if it's something happens to me, then I'll be like, okay, this has to be a video because my mind turns everything into a video. I normally record a lot a day. I'll probably record like 4 videos a day. Um, and I'll put out maybe like 2 or 3, and then you never know, down the line I may feel different about a video that I didn't like. And that's happened before where I made a video I didn't like, and then like a month later I kind of came by it and I was like, okay, I kind of like it now. And I posted it and it'll go viral. And I'm like, well, so I guess it's all about timing, I guess.
So how do you have your ideas get better with age? Because I noticed that most of the ideas that I sit on, like a little bit down the track, I'll look at that idea, I'll come back to it, I'll be like, that is trash.
It was disgusting.
yeah.
That happens too.
Yeah, that okay.
happens
All right,
too.
all right. Has
Like
there
some-
I mean, you've got to have people, you've got to have Florida companies just clawing at you, but then also you have to balance the authenticity of you being
Yeah.
Wicks and being, who you are, and also not selling out completely. I mean, and that's a weird term that I don't necessarily like because I want you to provide for your family. I think we all do.
Yeah.
We're rooting for you. So, how do you balance that?
I normally, and this is something that I've been, struggling with, I guess, for a couple years, because I don't want to turn it to a channel to where I'm just, trying to sell everybody everything. And that's
Right.
kind of been, my thing is not to take as many brand deals. So I turn down way more than I take. Like,
Yeah.
I think this year I might have taken like 4, but I probably turned down like hundreds.
Yeah.
So it's very like, it has to be something that I can fit into what I do.
Tom's the business side of our partnership.
I'll
and you,
never turn it
Yeah,
down.
you can see he wanted to scream. like-
Hundreds.
yeah, did you see when you said I've turned down hundreds? His wig, a lot of people don't know he has a wig. His wig
yeah.
rattled just a little bit.
I've been trying to figure out how to promote boner pills for weeks.
Yeah. We have a whole case of boner. This is not a
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah, yeah.
We have a whole case of boner pills under our pinball machine.
I'm like, it's got to work. And then I take some, and then I sit there. I'm like, you take some, Daniel. I'll force Daniel to take some.
He did take me. He did force me
I
to
make
take
Tracy take some. I'm
Yeah.
like, who knows?
Everybody in our company has to take boner pills. It's a
And
law.
then one day I'll figure this out. No, yeah, it is a hard balance because your audience, and let's talk about like because you spoke on engagement and trying to create engagement, and really with social media and I guess influencing and broadcasting, and it's all about engagement because if your audience isn't engaged at all, and you've seen it in social media before where you have some of these influencers, let's say, and not to disparage them, but like a bikini model or that has 100,000 or hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram, right? But she couldn't sell like 10 T-shirts.
That was a famous girl. Yeah, so she had like I think it was almost 1 million followers, and then she was trying to sell some T-shirts. And the funny thing was that her engagement level was so like small, so minuscule, so minimal, because it was really just a one-way street. It was really just she showed how beautiful she looked, and then the people kind of saw how beautiful she looked, and there was no interaction.
Yeah, they didn't know her personality. Yeah.
She wasn't able to sell anything, whereas like what you said, this is why you're successful. I mean, you said it immediately. You're like, I worry about the sketch, and then I worry about like the engagement with the people that follow me, and then cultivating that relationship. That's a big deal, man.
And then that's, even when I first started, more people are focused on the number. Like, I'll block people. I block people all the time just to create like a more positive community. So if you're in the comments or anything like that, I'll try to create like this positive community where we can kind of escape all the other crazy, stuff. So I'll block people a lot. So that's why I say I don't really focus on the number.
I like that.
And even with me, talking to the people that support me, I'll get in the comments, or even if I go live, like I'm talking directly to them. And I've had like other influencers tell me not to do it. And I'm like, I'm gonna do it my way. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it my way.
Yeah.
And my way is to show appreciation every day to everybody that watches a video or shares it or anything like that. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, that message comes through, man. Like you have a very positive on rip. Just everybody that's mentioned you likes you, and that's definitely a good attribute to have.
Wicks, do you think you have a lot more of an audience in Florida because you're based here, and there's a lot of Florida content in there, jokes about the weather?
That's
and
the
how hot
funny
it is.
thing. He's not based in Florida. He's based in North Carolina.
No.
I was trying to get him.
Yeah.
I wanted the terror. I wanted the terror in his eyes to flood. Did it flutter you just a little bit?
Well, I was just like, who have I been watching?
What is going on?
It's all a lie. No, he's as Florida as it gets.
Yeah. And Southwest Florida is unique. I grew up in Southeast Florida, Miami, and there's a difference between those souths of Florida, the east and
I'm
west
a Central
side.
Florida guy. Like I was born in Gainesville and then grew up in DeLand. So
Okay.
I'm Central
Okay.
Florida. I'm Volusia County. I mean, I'm live.
Yeah.
I'm on patrol live. You're tasing the fentanyl. That's me.
To be honest, I've lived here longer than I grew up in Miami. It's kind of ridiculous now.
You're
to
pretty
say.
much an Orlando guy. Dude. You are.
I spent only my childhood in Miami.
But it's cool
at
that you
18.
had that because he got to get a huge helping of like Cuban freedom fighter, and you got like Spanish friends. So that's Florida too.
Elian Gonzalez out driving around, tires are burning.
Yeah,
we're screaming free.
I mean, that is Florida, dude. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
makes Florida truly so unique and awesome.
But so Wicks, do you think you have a lot more of an audience, like per capita or percentage wise, in Florida because of that?
Yeah, and I think it's because I kind of, I guess, relatable. I'm relatable to Floridians. So most of us have been through these experiences together, the palmetto bugs and, the
Hurricanes.
The hurricanes and the fire ants. So we kind of deal with it. So if you see something that you can relate to, it's more like, I've dealt with that. But what's crazy is, like, if I look at my top cities, Chicago and New York are in there. So I'm starting to think,
Cool.
They may act like they don't like us, but they're kind of watching to see what we do. So that's what I'm going.
Well,
with.
I think they're jealous. I think they'd like to talk. I mean, there is a weirdness about, like, if you look at any like comedian that's known to be an intellectual, the low-hanging fruit is to assassinate everyone that lives in Florida. We're dumb, and we don't like. I can't think of anything else because I'm dumb. but I thought that was a pretty decent joke. I've been sitting on the joke. I thought that was a pretty solid joke. But seriously, it's like it's such low-hanging fruit, and it's not even like I think Florida is amazing. Second place to me is Georgia. That's like I'm all about the bottom, the little ding dong of like I like Florida and Georgia. That is my stuff. Like I like the people, I like the food. I just boiled peanuts 2 weekends ago.
I love boiled peanuts.
I will make you some, Wicks. I make good boiled peanuts, man. I will make you some.
All right, then we got a deal.
Done.
Pub sub and boiled peanuts. We got a deal.
Done. What is the hardest part of? Tom and I were talking a little bit about this morning. What's the hardest part of being or like keeping this as a viable business? Is it trying to come up with something new and give your audience like or work on like a longer form, like a TV show or a pilot? Like, are there other things you try to shoot for now to make this bigger and better?
Yeah, I mean, it's always evolving. So through time, even from when I first started, I don't realize it because I'll just do it. If I notice, the way sketches are filmed, or, I try to get better every day with the way that I, film or edit, or even, lighting or anything. So I'm trying to get better every day. But I am moving towards more so the film aspect. So I've actually written a short film. I guess it's like 20 minutes. And then now I'm working towards a longer film for, we're going to try to start filming next year.
Awesome.
So it's more so me trying to get into the film aspect. And even the stand-up comedy thing, it's more so me just trying to expand what I already do.
Yeah, and you're working with some of our buddies. You got Mike Herlihy, at least on the Orlando the Orlando appearance. It's Mike Herlihy,
Ken Miller.
Ken Miller. We love both of those guys. And you have multiple appearances all throughout Florida. A couple in Naples I saw. Circling back around to Tampa Improv. I think you're going to be at the Tampa Funny Bone.
If you follow OMGitsWICKS, he's promoting it. You'll see all the shows.
Yeah, grab one of the dates before they sell out, because they will sell out. Because especially with Ken and Mike Hurley on there, I mean, you stack the deck, dude. That's like you got some big dogs.
So Wicks, like, not to get too much into the business of it, but I'm always curious when I'm talking to influencers and like turning what they have into a business, because there's so many different ways to do it. Like, we did it in one way, but there's really dozens of different business models.
There's ideas that haven't even been thought of yet.
And all depending on your audience. Like, we're friends with Matt Mormon, and we've talked to him a bunch of times, and he's gone the route of he's selling merchandise that he's curated to his audience, and he's developed that into a huge empire where he's got multiple warehouses and shipping facilities, and then other influencers.
Then you got like Adam LZ, who's doing like, he does the car thing with like, sweepstakes that you can win and like Patreon aspects and stuff like that.
We recently talked to the guy who started Qualified Captain on Instagram. He's going to be at like our Labor Day show, but he does primarily merchandise and stuff. So there's lots of different ways to do it, and it's also difficult to scale. And you start bringing in employees and stuff to do things for you, but that's difficult too, because now you're like, all right, if I'm paying an employee, now I have to make X amount of more money a year. Maybe I could do it myself, but it's hard to scale. Have you gone through those growing pains?
I'm kind of still doing it myself right now. Me and my girlfriend, she actually helps a lot.
Nice.
And I have a few of my friends that I kind of like. We kind of did the podcast thing back in the day.
Yeah.
The two of them actually stuck with me through this whole process. So they kind of helped me in the whole process. There's a couple of us. And I got two high schoolers. So anything I need on the technical side as far as TikTok or actual social media, those are the experts.
High school. Man. When you got kids, it's like, and if they're willing to do it, holy smokes, that's like endless employees right there, man. And they know it. They got the quick mind.
Well, Wicks, we actually got a meeting tomorrow with a guy just out of college that wants to get into videography and social media.
But he's 51 years old. Man, this guy's gonna suck. Oh, he's gonna suck so bad.
But you're right. Like, there's a lot of resource with the younger generation getting out of either high school or college that wants to get into this space that is glad to help other influencers so they can learn too. And it's like there's probably an army of interns that we could all use. We need to get better at that.
Yeah.
It's because
are you asking Wicks if we need to get better at that? We need to get better at that, don't we, Wicks? And Wicks is like, yeah, you do, buddy.
Well, I'm reminding myself. I'm now just talking to myself now. Because I'm like, Wicks is right.
Wicks was like, yeah, you better get on that.
We need some high schoolers. That's who knows.
Don't say that.
No, we do. We need the young generation to come in here because we're good at broadcasting, but we're horrible at social media.
The horrible part is that nobody listens to broadcasting anymore, so we have no product. We have no product.
So now, Wicks, you're doing these tours. And besides from the movie, anything else on the horizon? You plan on going out of Florida, doing some national stuff? Because you probably have you said you got listeners all over the world, right?
Yeah, it's been growing. So I'll have people. So I'll ask, where should I come, or what city should I come to? I've had people all the way in Alaska, which I told them not going to happen. Like, I'm from Southwest Florida, so my blood is very thin. I can't deal with Alaska. Like, I know they got polar bears up there and moose. I don't want to deal with any of that. Like, I'll deal with my gators, but I've had, all over the country, they want me to come. And like I said, I think it's more so their infatuation with Florida and the way that I present Florida to them. It's not just the normal Florida man stuff. It's the actual Florida life.
Yeah.
So that basically, so they can understand why you get the Florida man. Why you get those stories is because of, things that we grew up with or things that we deal with on a daily basis as far as weather, animals, and everything else.
Just the overall Florida experience. Wicks, thank you so much for the time, man. We really appreciate it. Good luck with the tour. Please say hello to Mike Hurley and our good friend Ken Miller. And this has been such a pleasure, man. Hopefully we get to do it again sometime soon.
Invite me back anytime. I'll come on. Just
We'll
let
do
me
it,
know.
man. Maybe one day
All
we
right.
can do something where it's Wicks and Savannah and us.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Because that's our
I love
buddy,
Sav-
too. Yeah.
I love Savannah. Savannah is one of my favorite people.
Yeah,
so.
she's rad, man. Well, hey, take care of yourself, and we'll do it again, okay?
All right. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah,
See
see
ya.
you, Wicks. Be good, man. What a nice man.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because I know he's been to Mo's bowling tournament a couple times. I haven't met him and got a chance to meet him in person.
He helps Florida. Like he's a good Floridian. He does and every time I see him, he works, but then he'll also do a lot of charity stuff.
Yeah,
to help out, like for kiddos especially. And I like to see. You don't see a lot of that. No offense to I'm sure it's there, but like with influencers, you don't see a lot of people like to put the spotlight on the bad part of influencers, and he's a good one. He's good. He's awesome. He does like a lot of charity stuff.
It's man, it's fascinating to see these guys build their audience and then figure out how to turn it into a business.
Yeah.
To me at least, I like.
It's also impressive that he built it by turning down hundreds of partnerships.
Well, I imagine that
Gotta protect that brand.
Well, in that world where you have that much like exposure because people can find, they're just looking for numbers, right? You probably get inundated with tons of BS.
Probably a blanket
dude,
email.
we get dozens and dozens of spam emails that want to partner
get
with
like
us.
3 a day.
That's all garbage, right?
Yeah, I got one this morning.
So he's getting 10 times that, which is just pure garbage of people that want to do these brand partnerships that are just nonsense.
Yeah.
So like that's probably what he's turning down. It's not like a legitimate like, hey, like a local company in Florida that wants some exposure, that wants a partner long term. It's like get rich quick, flying orbs that you fly back and forth, and a bunch of garbage.
Can I reveal my true sensitivity to you for a second?
All right.
It really hurt my feelings when he said, I was doing a podcast back in, with my friends back in 2018, and I was like,
I was doing a podcast. I was also doing a podcast in 2018. I'm still doing a podcast. I am currently. I've built a podcast prison that I'm locked in.
We started doing a podcast almost a decade earlier than that.
Excuse me, Wicks. Dan Dennis here. I started doing a podcast in 2009.
Yeah. And then I think of all the mistakes we made throughout the year, like
it was so bad.
We wasted a bunch of money.
He only did it for 3 years.
Yeah.
He's out. He's millionaire now.
You know how much money we wasted on offices and employees and stuff when Wicks knows you do it by yourself.
Yeah,
you and your girl.
You and your girl.
Make all the money.
Yeah, I'm surprised he even said that.
Anyway.
I'll cut that out so I protect him. I got to protect Wicks.
We will take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. We got Kenny Sampson in studio. How you doing, Kenny?
Hey, let's start with this right here.
He's hooking up your skirt, pervert Kenny. He jerks it till it hurts, pervert Kenny. Public masturbation is all that he enjoys. He stretches out his butthole with big old pecker toys, pervert Kenny.
There you go.
It makes me miss the Funkadelic one. That
Okay,
you did last
I'll
time.
bring that back next time. But for today, you get a ragtime pecker song. There you go. Good to see you, buddy.
Till it hurts? Like, who does that?
I don't know. I had to rhyme something with whatever the other word was. I did that one actively. I composed that on Twitch. You can go back and see the behind the scenes if you'd like of the 2 minutes. The 2 minutes it took me to compose that.
Hey, we have this tall gay clown coming in. We're gonna come up with a song.
Oh yeah, I did call you a tall gay clown one time.
I know.
Till it
was the lyrics of the last song.
That's right.
Till it hurts is a good point to stop, though. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, like, hey, when should I stop? Till it hurts.
Yeah.
That's
no, hold on a second. The reggae band Inner Circle said,
push it.
And if you cry out, I'm going to push it some more. So that guy, he is a rapist.
Yeah.
And I think we've said this before. And Benny Mardones. Okay.
So
Welcome.
apparently dogs will do things even beyond the point of pain, which is, that's one of the things it's like, how do you kill a wolf with a blood popsicle? And what you do is you take a knife, you dip it in blood, and you freeze it. And I'm talking about like Arctic wolves or whatever. And the wolves will start licking the blood because they enjoy it, but then they'll end up cutting their tongue on the knife, but they'll confuse their own blood with the blood that they're licking and eventually will bleed out to death.
What are you, an Asian shaman?
That's how you kill
That
an
sounds
Arctic wolf.
Steven Seagal. Like, do you know how to kill a wolf? You make a blood popsicle. You dip the blood. You dip the knife in blood.
We're
and then
talking
you
about,
freeze
like-
it. Then the wolf will lick it and then cut his tongue on the blade, confusing his own blood with the blood on the knife. And then he will lick himself to death. So it be said.
If we're talking about pushing past the point of pleasure, that's what wolves do.
Wow. I've never heard that before, Kenny. That was really, really
There you
interesting.
go. So for any of you who need to kill an Arctic wolf,
Yeah, there you go.
Slowly. So what have you been up to, Kenny?
Yeah, what's going on, buddy?
I was in Atlanta, and have you guys ever been in a Waymo, those the automatic driving cars, for like rideshare purposes?
I've had a guest on our show that's way more interesting.
I've been in Daniel's car and watched it, drive itself.
I'm
so.
told Waymo's better.
So
I'm told Waymo is better than Tesla when it comes to full self-driving.
For this one, it's a rideshare, and it won't unlock until you and your app are near it. And when you get there, you sit in the back just like a normal rideshare, but there's no driver in front of you. But you have a touchscreen, so you can control the AC, the music, everything. And it says, hey, it'll drive you to your destination. The problem is there's still a lot to be learned. So it will go from point A to point B, but wanting to avoid any construction, any like whatever. So I just needed to go to a bar like 5 minutes away from where my hotel was.
Your hands were shaking, right?
But it was taking a 20-minute route to get there because the direct route technically had some construction going on,
Yeah.
and this car wouldn't do it.
And your Suboxone wasn't kicking in, so
Yeah.
you're freaking out.
Yep. So but what sucks is you're almost trapped prisoner. Like it won't let you out if you're at if it deems that you're not at a safe place, even though it might be at a stop sign or something, and you want to be let out, it'll be like, nope, cannot do that.
Wait a
And
minute,
then-
is Waymo racist? Does it go through certain areas and it's like, we're not unlocking the door?
Don't,
Yeah.
don't get out here.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I can't tell what you are,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
not.
I see a shadowy figure.
So here's the problem though,
Racist
because
Waymo?
it only uses sensors and it doesn't use common sense. So we went down
Sensors, not sense.
we went down a residential area, and on the side of the road, it recognizes when there are parked cars, and it recognizes them as cars, and it'll keep driving. However, one of the cars on the side of the road had one of the car covers on it. So it was just like a giant canvas, and it stopped, and it couldn't figure out what it was because it didn't
This
register
car
as a car.
is covered in cloth.
It didn't even recognize it as a car. I think it thought it was just like a person or something because it thought it was clothes, and it just refused to move. So I just sat there in the car with it not moving, and it was like recalculating. So it would back up just to drive forward again and stop at the exact same spot. And then it would back up, and it took a different route, a full circle, just to end up on the exact same road again to encounter the exact same covered car. And so it got to a point where I actually had to call customer service. Like that's one of the options on the little touchscreen. And the customer service essentially had to remote control into the car and manually override drive it past the obstacle. So that's really
pretty cool. I didn't know that they had like a Waymo headquarters where somebody can
remotely drive the car past the
Yeah.
Now that sounds like a giant pain in the ass, and obviously
It very much was, because again, this place was 5 minutes away, and it took me 20 to 25 minutes to get there, especially having to encounter a parked car 3 different times.
Yeah.
The problem is that we're trying to incorporate the self-driving amongst 99.9% of human drivers.
People don't want it. People don't like it. I get told every time I mention it to somebody how much I like it. I've never encountered somebody who was like, yeah, man, I'm with you. Not even one. Not one. Most people are like our good friend, Amy LaCours, was just on the show. I told her about it. I'm like, hey, you want to drive him? I'll take you around the block. No, she's like, no way. Nope, not doing it. I'm like, okay. That's fair. I understand.
Well, that's what people said about integrating races in schools. when
It's
it first
exactly
happened.
like that. It's exactly like
and,
that.
And guess what?
It's exactly
it's
like
happening.
that, yeah.
And then, but the old timers, the people that didn't grow up with this technology, are gonna reject it.
Although they never hosed electric cars with fire hoses,
Yeah, that's
pushing
true.
them out of a school.
But
it wouldn't wouldn't do much.
The younger generation's gonna adopt this because as we know already, they don't want to drive.
Maisie loves it.
And she's already exposed to it, and
she loves it.
And then people, so it's like it's going to be the future. It's just going to be a rough transition, and it's going to be a lot of this where people are going to be like, "Oh, this technology's not there yet." Like a human driver's better in this scenario, and you're right. And a human driver would be better in that scenario because it's trying to navigate a world where everybody else is driving, and it's the only self-driving car around. So it needs to be all self-driving cars, so they all communicate with each other. And then it's a utopia.
Oh, I want that. I want that utopia.
Well, we're gonna live through the transition. Believe me.
Yeah.
But I think it needs to start recognizing self-driving cars, and I don't even mean other cars, because yes, that was a car parked on the side of the road with a cover, but what if it was a bush for an abandoned house that was growing out into the street? What if it was some some junk or something that's an old bed or a mattress that someone was trying to dispose of and they just chucked it on the curb? That's what I think it's failing on, is it's not recognizing humans putting crap out there.
Well, that's an interesting thing that I wonder if AI will fix, because of going back to the prove you're a human by putting where the crosswalk is or the traffic light.
Yeah.
Then and so that seems like an industry standard where the website or the software can prove that a human's and not a bot is getting in, because a bot cannot determine what fire hydrant or how many fire hydrants or whatever. Which I every time I do this,
I laugh because I'm like, why? He can write a whole poem or a song. He can write a song for Kenny, but he can't find a fire hydrant.
Yes, and that's what I think every time. I'm like, wait a minute, I heard Daniel wrote an awesome song in AI today.
I can write a hip hop opera. I can write whatever you want in here.
And this AI can't determine where the buses are.
So, how many bikes do you see in this photo?
I'm like, and I can't even get it right.
The conspiracy theory, though, is that it's not actually trying to prove that you're human. You're actually assisting it learn what bikes are. That's what the conspiracy theory is.
No, that's what I was told on Reddit. I was told that every time I do a CAPTCHA that I'm contributing to a robot foot crushing a skull in the future.
Okay.
Like every time you do a CAPTCHA, you are training a Terminator to kill an infant.
Like in theory, you can
that's way cooler.
In theory, you can click whatever boxes you want and still go forward. You just would be messing up.
Did you see my hat? Did you see my hat? It's so on brand.
Oh, jeez.
By the way,
my hat says, "Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to drive Teslas." Isn't that awesome?
That's pretty good.
Sometimes I do screw it up and I don't click all of the motorcycle, and I'm like, I screwed it up, and then it'll let me in still, and I'm like, well, wait a minute.
That's exactly
This robot's in love with me. This robot's seducing me.
It wants me to gamble on Bovado.
I will say,
that's just one.
Mine are always sinister things too. I'm like buying something from a website it shouldn't be on.
I was pretty impressed though with the self-driving. Like I was expecting it to be, those self-driving, vehicles at an amusement park where it just violently stops when it gets to a certain point. I was like, nah, it was pretty smooth.
It was like that. When I got
turning wheels,
when I got my car 3.5 or 4 years ago, whenever, it's been a minute, and I got the full self-driving, it was herky-jerky, and now it is smooth.
It's so much better.
Like, you're in it all the time. It's very smooth now.
Yeah.
And every time I've been in that car, every time you've been in that car with me, self-driving. You've never been in that car where I've driven it, ever.
I would though, I think maybe for optics purposes, because when you get in, there's literally nothing in the front two seats. And
you want a blow-up doll in there?
The wheels just steal by itself. I want one of those old it doesn't have to be like a human figure.
Johnny Cab.
But I at least want two,
Time Cop.
I want two robot arms at least pretending to steer the wheel and, just sit there and then, move its hands up and down. Just
a Total Recall.
Yeah.
And then he flips his head backwards and talks to you. You're like,
"Hi, welcome to Johnny Cab."
Yeah.
You know what I thought about doing for Halloween? Tell me if you guys don't talk me out of this.
Blackface.
That too. But I thought about doing buying the severed hands and putting them on my wheel. So when I'm sitting in my car and the wheel is turning, it's just hands on my wheel turning severed.
Okay, now you're getting the dad joke Tesla.
Yeah.
The problem is if you do it near Halloween, people will be like, look at that guy. You got to be doing it in April.
Okay, you're right. You're right.
Can you have Halloween lights and stuff? Will it make any color? Can you make the interior orange or?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can actually make it themed for any holiday.
Yeah, you can make it like autumn orange if you want, like pumpkin spice. It came out today. Starbucks released pumpkin spice as of this morning, I believe. So if you're into that, you can go get one.
Are you able to have the Ghostbusters theme when you pull up and hit the horn?
Yeah, you can have whatever you want. Like I could have a horror. I could pull up to anywhere I want and play. I could play the audio from a murder. I can play anything I want from it. I could play.
It's embarrassing, by the way. I meant to tell you that the other day.
Actually, that does bring up a good point.
I can play Two Live Crew.
I was literally just about to say, could you do the me so horny?
Yes.
Anytime.
I have an slightly inappropriate lock chime right now. It's the one from The Simpsons. It says my car is gay.
Yeah.
And it says, this is an electric car, and if you drive it, you're gay. And then people laugh, and they laugh. And, they love it. They think it's the funniest
Lots
thing.
of high fives.
I have made more old black men at Walmart laugh with that lock chime than anything. There's been no joke on Real Radio I've ever told that's funnier. Like, these black guys fall down on the ground. One guy fell down and was laughing, and he looked at me, and he goes, hey, that's all right. That's all right, man. That's all right.
It is nice when, us 2.5 whitos here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll take that. I'm that fat kid that freaked out on that show.
Oh, I was going to say.
Remember that kid?
Yeah.
The kid from 2.5 Men, he freaked out.
Did he freak out?
Yeah, and he was like, they're not paying me enough, and maybe I'm like pansexual, or I think he freaked out.
I was really just saying it's me being half white, but doesn't it feel good when you do something and someone from a completely different race acknowledges, gives you like a head nod or a high five or something? It's like,
I was just talking
cool.
about that with his son. His son Max he's in there because he's got the ability.
On last Friday's show, my dream, my whole life, even when I was a kid, I wished I was it was always dancing, because that's why I saw anytime a white kid could dance really well, then the group of black kids that were surrounding you would be like, yeah, scream loud, and then congratulate the kid for doing the robot.
And they give you that. That's all right. They give you one of those.
And then I was like, I wish, and then I'll never be able to do that in my entire life. I'll never be able to impress a group of anybody except for the whites. Because they're easier to impress.
Are they impressed, the whites?
Yeah. I could jump something, do some jackass.
The whites are grumpy.
They're impressed by Steve-O type of nonsense.
The whites like gross stuff.
I can do that.
They're like, a turd fell out of his pants and he ate it. Yeah! Whites are gross.
I will appreciate it. Adds a little bit to it when it's a different generation as well, because I was doing karaoke, and a lot of people, I'm 41, and a lot of people don't realize that.
Holy smokes.
Well, you're 28.
So a lot of people think I look younger, and I did karaoke, and I started singing.
That's kind of old for a Roblox account.
I started singing Tevin Campbell, Can We Talk? And then a bunch of old Mima black ladies were like, oh, get it, honey. And then they were cheering me on the entire time. I'm like, oh, this feels nice.
Yeah.
This feels good.
Oh, yeah. Like a smooth R&B song.
Yeah. I used to do a little Al Green. Let's stay together. Oh, my God. I'm up there dancing with some big black mama. Oh, it's good.
Speaking of white people enjoying, I could jump over them. I was in Vegas last week, and, Vegas is pretty trashy when it comes to, all the street entertainment. The fake Elmos, no different than, Times Square.
Yeah.
We should hire fake Elmo for our final BDM party.
Is it that costume is less expensive than the other ones? Why Elmo?
You know what it is? I've analyzed this.
Is it the popularity of Elmo in 2008 or something?
In the late 90s, early 2000s, the whole Tickle Me Elmo thing, when Elmo was blowing up, I think that was oh, this is an easy way to make $5 off of a family, is get a little kid to recognize. And I think they just mass produced the Elmo costume.
The best part of that costume, though, is that a well-made costume, and our buddy Alan Duckworth makes professional mascot costumes, so I think he'd back me up on this. A well-made costume is going to have a level of skeleton. It's going to have a skeleton inside of it to almost give the costume a shape.
Yeah.
The Elmo costumes that you see, or the Mickey Mouse or the SpongeBob's that you see in Times Square or in Vegas, are dumpy because there's no skeleton inside of them. It's just a red fur draped on a crackhead.
It's like a Spirit Halloween costume. Yeah. It's garbage.
The head is disproportionately small. It's just a helmet size, as opposed to, if you look at Elmo, Elmo's head's way bigger.
Yeah, it's Stewie size round.
I just wonder, you would make more money with like some sort of Minecraft
Well,
creature.
so
You don't
that-
think if with the kids, something the kids are into.
What's
Elmo, they don't even-
Steve, right?
But that's that's what it is now. You'll start seeing a little bit more. Like there was a time Bluey, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people with the Bluey costumes getting that. So I think it's getting there. It's just there's still an overrun of Elmo out there. But when I was out there, there was a whole circle of people, and I was like, oh, it's a street performer, doing whatever. And it was basically like a group of 3 dudes, and they were lining up a bunch of fat dads, like 5 of them, and they were going to do a thing where they run and they jump over all 5 of them.
I saw this in Times Square.
Yep.
Like this must be the overwhelming thing
This
that
is a
they
teen-
realize they
yeah.
can make the
this
most
is a
money.
teen job.
It took 20 minutes because obviously they're there to make money. So after they line them up, they're like, all right, if we raise $100, we're going to jump them. All right. And then, they go around, they try to collect,
And
the
they
money.
collect the money from the guys, the fat dads they line up.
Well, and their families on the
Yes,
side.
yes,
yeah.
yeah.
And then they'll do something where it's like, hey, where are you from, Canada? Canada just donated $5.
What
Yeah,
if you
keep
don't
it up.
pay? Do they kick your dad out?
Well, they because they want the masses to donate.
No,
so
I
I think,
understand, but if they come over to me and they're like, "Hey, that's your dad," and I'm like, "I ain't paying nothing."
yeah.
know,
No, I've
like-
seen that. They move on.
Okay.
Because, but it's weird that they chose this particular stunt.
Yep.
In multiple like
Well,
Vegas and now in
Because
like
white
Times
people
Square.
love jumping.
But I look
can't
around.
argue
There's
that. You can't argue that.
It's the United Nations in Times Square. You know what I'm saying? There are ethnicities that I don't even recognize.
Well, it's like music. It's like music. A lot of it is rooted in black culture, but everyone enjoys it. Jumping, that's a white thing.
yeah, but everybody enjoys it.
And what I mean by that is like jumping through the air. I'm not talking about athletic greatness.
yeah.
That is true.
Jumping over something.
Yeah.
Here's the problem, though. I never actually
Evil
got to
Knievel.
see
There, that's what I'm talking about.
I never got to see the jump because, one, I don't want to stand there the whole time and get harassed for money. So I'm like, I'm on one of those crosswalks, over the strip, and I'm seeing it. And I'm like, oh, I'll just sit here. Maybe they're going to jump soon. Like 5 minutes later, they're still not jumping. I'm like, I'm not going to wait around for this. So I never got a chance to see the actual performant jump.
So, but of all street performing stunts, it's interesting to me. It was like, why'd they land on this one? Because now that it's in different states, and I'm like, you saw it recently. I saw
Could
it
be
recently.
a franchise.
I'm like, okay,
Right?
the word spread that this particular thing, the street performance, raises the most amount of money because that's all they care about.
What do you
right?
think? They're regional? Like they started, like we had some like in New York City, and they're like, you know what? We're gonna split this up. We're gonna take a crew out to Vegas and do it.
Okay, well, no, let's just look at street performing in general. Like,
there's
a lot of drumming.
That's the thing with the jumping. No props.
That's
there's
what I
no
was gonna
overhead.
say.
The only thing is, it does
Drumming,
require.
you need a couple of pieces of metal, cookie sheets,
Yeah.
some buckets.
Yeah,
you need a dog with goggles.
Vegas, though, compared to Times Square, and it could just be because of the rules there, a lot of karaoke singers, a lot of people with like a JBL, Bluetooth speaker, and then like a wireless mic, and they'll just, be singing like Uptown Funk You Up, like as people are walking by. Like a lot of people just.
Oh, I don't like that.
They're just randomly singing. But again, you have to pay for the mic, you have to pay for, you got to charge the batteries. But the jumping one, zero overhead. You just got to split your costs among, the 3 people that are there?
Yeah, but you need a personality to wrangle those fat dads.
Yeah, well,
Not any schlub can do that.
Well, you get a hype man and the jumper. I've seen this when I was in Times Square. The hype man,
That's me.
He's in
You're the
charge
jumper.
of not only getting the fat dads to jump over, but also convincing the fat dads to spend money. I saw one fat dad give them $40 because he fell for it. He's like, hey, he was like, the more money,
I'll put you in the front.
Yeah,
I'll put you
I'll
in the
put
front for photos.
And then the by the time they went through them all, like the last fat dad was like, I'll give you $1, and then you could tell like he was mad. He's like, nah.
It's normally a 3-person crew. You have the jumper, you have the hype man, and then you have the logistics guy because he's the one collecting the money and making sure that it's all organized. It's not just like stuffed in the pockets. You know what I mean?
And then backing the audience up so they could jump, and he's looking out for cops.
Then also, while the audience is backing up, you have a series of young teens that are fleecing people's pockets, right? Like you got some pickpockets running around the back while you're pushing. Come on, everybody back up. This is a serious jump. I don't want anybody hurt while you're backing up. I got teens pulling their wallets out.
And
We're
it has
getting
to
the
be a
money.
crew because I don't think one person can do it because no one's going to be like, oh, just one guy jumping. Like, oh, you can't be doing all the work. You can't be the hype man and lining people up and collecting the money.
Chat room weighing in goes to Manute Bull in our Twitch chat room, and you can join him, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. if you'd like to watch that. He says, I saw a man with no legs in a wheelchair singing Bruno Mars outside the M&M store in Las Vegas. He wanted to shake my hand and said, quote, don't worry, you won't turn black if you shake it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Well, the no legs people, they've been...
Well, you wouldn't shake his legs. You had to shake his hands. I mean, come on. What's wrong with you?
They've been busking since the movie Kids, whether you're a skateboard in the subway, type of, and you're singing, I have no legs.
I've always thought it's got to
I would
feel like
actually
you're
think
going...
before then. Like the Vietnam vets coming in. And I guess I'm thinking Lieutenant
Think
Dan.
about how fast it must feel to be on your torso in a skateboard. Like anytime they put yourself lower.
Yeah,
and
your legs are heavy.
Yeah, but even in my car, the lower you are, you just feel like you're going faster, right? So on a skateboard with just using your hands, I remember doing that on my knees.
Yeah.
It's got to feel amazing.
So, we know Tom would while Tom needs a bike to jump, I'm like, but like, what would your guys' street performance regimen be?
Trained animal tricks, dogs. I'd have dogs. I'd have a whole series of little warty puppies doing a bunch of little tricks.
So here's the thing: it's good and bad because you'll get the people that are drunk who love it and will throw money at you, but then you'll also get the Crystal Vans of the world who think
the
that you're
Petas out there throwing blood on me.
Look, I'll kick a mom into a gully. I'll throw a beer at a mom yelling at me.
No, but because then the protesters come out, they're scaring away all your customers. They're like, don't watch this. You're contributing.
But if the protesters are one sort of, let's say, political ideology, I'll just weaponize some MAGA guys and yell at them. I'll be like, hey, these guys are yelling at me. Get them. I'll play politics against them.
The jumper, though, takes a risk in the fact that one day he's going to slip and then hit a fat dad and hurt him.
Yeah, and then you have to give that $70 back.
Yep.
No, you take off running. But then when you take off running, you leave the fat dad, they call an ambulance, and the local cops, like, we got to clean this up. And
then they don't.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
I guess that they can start because you could see them prepare. Like you said, it took a long time in Times Square too. Like the setup was ridiculous to the point where get this going already.
What'd your boys think?
They're not unimpressed. No, they were just like, I've seen. I mean, it wasn't even that far of a jump. It wasn't like, whoa, I've never seen a human do this. Like I saw 10 humans do this on TikTok earlier today and do it better.
Have either of you ever seen someone busking or doing a street performance where you were impressed?
Yes, and I've seen in New Orleans, like some of the drummers in New Orleans were ridiculous, and some of the musicians in New Orleans
music ones. I have seen one where it was like a giant muscle man, and he was doing one-arm push-ups, but like one-arm push-ups with no feet touching. Like he was just doing a thing and be like, he
was like suspending his whole body.
Yeah, he was suspending his whole body on one arm and doing it. And he goes, hey, who wants to donate $1 for every push-up I could do? Okay, 50 cents for every push-up. And basically he would do that and people would be like, oh my God, that's impressive. And then donate money. Like that was the only time because it was a unique angle. I'd never seen anything like that.
There's street performers in Key West that are really good. There's a cat show in Key West. And I forgot the name of the square that they all perform in.
Is it Hannibal? No, it's not Hannibal Square.
But those are like pros. They come and they literally...
The contortionist in the glass box. He's there. That
contortionist
guy,
and stuff like that.
There's a glass box contortionist that I believe Bill Murphy from Fair Villa, like we were down there. This is probably 25 years ago. And I'm down there for Key West for the first time. And it was on a cruise. And we had gone by Fair Villa when it was still there in Key West. And they showed us, like, this guy did a show and he had a full glass box and he was a contortionist. It was the first time I'd ever really seen one. And this guy who was relatively tall and skinny, he had on like a little Speedo, he cranked himself down into like the size of this tiny little glass box and he squished himself in there and it was unfreaking believable. Like it was some old school Jim Rose sideshow circus freak stuff. Like, it was great.
I think Key West has good ones. New Orleans has good ones. Like
Mallory Square is what it's called.
Mallory Square. Times Square's buskers stunk.
Yeah, Vegas is terrible. Vegas is also full of like just bikini girls, but with like the feather, showgirls, whatever, just asking for photos. Like that's it's like a whole.
I'm okay with that. I'll let that stand.
you pay them just because you stand next to them.
Well, it's because it's like you want a photo, and then you pay for a photo next to some stereotypical Vegas showgirls, or you get like the Thunder from Down Under muscle men, with like taking. Or the fake sexy cops pretending to arrest you.
Oh, Black Cops? What was the Black on Blonde Cops? What was the one we liked?
Yeah.
What was that called?
Yeah.
You used to know it.
Oh, yeah.
We interviewed her. She has a whole series of pornography. Jocelyn Jane did. Oh, what was the series? Her series of cop videos. Somebody in the chat room.
It was her and her brunette partner.
Yeah.
They
were
sometimes
mean.
they're porky picking.
Yeah, sometimes they get out of their squad car. They don't have any bottoms on.
Yeah. But they sell their bulletproof vests. And they're in the streets of
Hialeah. They got guns.
A hot ass Hialeah.
So they can't do this in Vegas because of the gambling, but I have always been fascinated by 3-card Monte. You know, the whole where it's like, oh, find the ace, find the queen, whatever, and they do all that. So it's obviously a scam because they're doing sleight of hand, but every once in a while when you pick the wrong ones, they'll show you the real one. So I'm like, okay, well, if you think you know it, if you know that it's a scam, wouldn't your intuition to be to not pick the one that you think it is? Because then now you have a 50-50 chance.
No, but then they do sleight of hand and you lose every time.
No, but you got to find the one that flips over where it is.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? You got to find the ones that flips over, and never ever, for tips out there, never ever go to one where the person before you won. Because that's
the
a
setup.
Scam. That's
you
the
know,
setup.
I always
they
thought
make it seem like you can win
because of old Tom and Jerry cartoons, Popeye, Bugs Bunny, that era of cartoons. I was born in '76. I'm 49 years of age. Because of that era of cartoons, I grew up thinking that if you played 3-card Monte and we're on a winning streak and we're like, because I always thought as a kid, I'm like, yeah, I'll just pick whatever he's. What you're saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'll just pick the opposite one. I'll get it every time. That you would get murdered. Like they
aren't gonna give you their money.
They perpetuated that theory in the cartoons that if you were on a winning streak playing 3-card Monte, that the guy in charge of 3-card Monte would eventually get tired of you and he would slit your throat. Like that's what I thought as a young boy. I was like, well, I'll never play 3-card Monte because you start getting a win streak, you'll die.
I do appreciate. I know Ross talked about it that they were having rock paper scissors contests. Every once in a while, you'll go to a casino and they just have 1-card war. And you'll just plunk down $20, flip. That's the game.
In
the end.
Yeah, but I'm like, I'm severely at a disadvantage here.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, that's a slot machine, right?
Oh, no, it definitely is. I just think it's hilarious that it's like, how did it take them so long to realize, guys, war could just be the easiest $20 that the casino could ever make?
And the casino's like, tie goes to us, so that's it. And then you're like, that flips the odds.
Yep.
Anyway, Kenny, we got to get out of here.
No.
Appreciate you, man.
Is drone racing coming back?
TBD.
TBD. You nerds ruined it, didn't you? You did something.
Yeah.
You did
It's
something.
not the computers doing it.
Yeah, you ruined
You don't need the humans anymore.
AI's flying the drone. It doesn't even matter. It's a perfect race every time.
So very quickly, they actually did like an AI circuit of it. So he's like, yeah, can you program and do AI? And a human just obliterated them. They're just like, I can go 100 miles an hour and control it. AI is just going 100 miles an hour and crashing into like random objects. Yeah.
It'll get there.
It'll get there.
That's why everybody's in that waiting pattern. We're just like waiting for AI to do everything. We're like, I'll just stay here and hover until we figure out what we're doing.
All right, we'll be back with more Corporate Time. Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on Twitch and YouTube. Come hang out because podcasts live on video sites right now. If you like Twitch and video games, head over there. And if you're always on the YouTube like I am or have YouTube TV, check us out at Tom and Dan Live on YouTube.
We also have a subscription called BDMs.
Yeah.
Those
are our best darn members.
Yeah. Or you'll find out the real. But
you'll see.
We have multiple BDM only Facebook groups. We have a main one that you can get in once you're a BDM. Then there's a bunch of subgroups with every different hobby.
Nerd, outdoor, firearms, archery,
Subi group,
anxiety, car,
parenting group, culinary group.
Yeah, culinary group.
Plant group, gambling group.
Let's see here, chronic masturbation.
There's a lot of it.
Yeah.
And you can sign up at tomandan.com, and we do a BDM appreciation every year. That happens in April. It happened next year. So if you want to be a part of that, sign up to become a BDM. We have brand new straw hats.
Yeah. If it wasn't happening, we wouldn't mention it.
Yeah.
If it wasn't happening, we would.
At tomandan.com, so you can get a straw hat or a sun shirt on our website.
All printed by the fine folks over at Hidden Skins. They did an amazing job with this sun shirt and hat.
Yep.
It's my favorite we've had. Okay. let's jump into some voicemails. We neglect voicemails and emails from time to time, and it's always fun to hear from our listeners. If you'd ever want to, if you're ever thinking about us and you want to leave us a voicemail, 1-866-TOM-AND-DAN. That's the number to call, or you can leave us an email, show@tomanddan.com. The hottest topic that we have had in the last week was the gentleman who called the Friday Free Show, and I'm going to have to be a little careful. But he called the Friday Free Show,
stinky carbuncle?
and he had a carbuncle on his hiney. Let's dig in.
Hey guys, listening to the Friday Free Show and hearing the gentleman caller talk about his butt problems. What he has is a pilonidal cyst. It gets at like the top of your butt crack, and it stinks so bad when they open it up. We used to get guys who would get it in the Army, and they usually got it because they didn't wash their ass. So, let this be a lesson to everybody. Wash your ass.
I don't believe that. You're not going to tell me that just by not washing,
because
that
it's internal.
if I just leave it alone, then I'm going to get some primordial. What did he say? Primordial cyst? That sounds horrible. It's like Jurassic Park. Primordial cyst.
No, I think you. Yeah.
Primeval cyst. What did he say it was?
I don't know. But
hold on, I got to listen to it again.
Gentleman caller talk about his butt problems. What he has is a pilonidal cyst.
Pilonidal.
Okay.
Pilonidal. Pilonidal.
So,
let me look that
a
up. Let
cyst.
me do a little chat GPT on that.
I thought cysts come from, like there's cysts that come from infections, which I guess start externally, but then get covered up by the skin and then grow internally.
The only cyst that I know is the sebaceous cyst, and that is a cyst that all, if not most men get on their scrot, and it goes, and you freak out, and then the doctor's like, I don't absorb, and it does.
All
and
right,
you're good.
okay. Sounds like you had
I was asking for a friend.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, I don't know anything about cysts.
Yeah, a pinodial cyst is a pocket that forms under the skin, usually near the top of the buttocks, where the tailbone is. It often contains hair, skin debris, and sometimes pus if it becomes infected. Holy smokes. The cause. Thought to happen when loose hairs penetrate the skin, causing irritation and infection. Who gets them? Most common are young men, people who sit a lot, and those with coarse or thick body hair.
So it's like when the hair grows,
like an ingrown hair.
Ingrown hair, something like that.
Which is just a blemish, right? There's just a zit.
Yeah, but I guess it could turn into a cyst. Like the ingrown hair can get infected.
The body is an amazing animal, right? Wow.
Compounding it. It's so good sometimes, then real bad.
There's some impressive stuff, and then there's some just horrible.
Yeah. Like you hear about a human body like healing itself with all types of problems and people like on the brink of death, where you're like, there's no way this
Some people are like, hey, you can heal anything,
Yeah. And then sometimes you get some sort of, ingrown hair, and then it can turn into an infection that kills you. Yeah. And it's like, man, one hair.
You didn't wash your beehole, and the next thing you know, you're driving down the road, you got to drive yourself to the emergency room just because you didn't.
And you're calling a podcast and telling them?
Yeah. I mean, I've kind of got like this new ritual that I enjoy, and you probably have it too. I bet you, like when you're out jogging, right? And let's say you're laying down a solid 7 or 8 miles, right? And you come back, and it's been a tough one, and you're just drenched. Because I've seen you sometimes when you come back here, and you're just drenched. There's a new thing I kind of like. I really enjoy it like that. Like, I like cooling down and then taking a shower when I'm really, really, really sweaty. There's something almost like it's a new ritual that I've kind of worked into my mornings.
Yeah.
Where the idea of lathering myself up and just getting extra clean after I've been extra sweaty is awesome. Like, I love it.
Okay.
It's like a new thing that I do now where if I didn't, what I'm trying to, I guess, get across to you is that, like, I guess if I didn't work out and get extra sweaty, I wouldn't feel the need to get, like, extra clean.
Yeah.
So there's, like, a balance in
getting extra dirty and then clean immediately after.
Yeah, there's something that feels very good about that. Like, I like it, and then I feel like I smell the soaps better and the water feels better, and I appreciate the shower more because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I was disgusting and now I'm great. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's the satisfaction of
I accomplished something.
pressure washing a driveway that hasn't been cleaned in years,
Yes.
as opposed to one that's done 6 months ago, and it's like a minor difference. You need the big difference to feel the best.
The chat room is weighing in on something that I had to deal with my daughter, and I don't know what this is caused by, but maybe I'll look it up. CD Sarah in our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. She says, I have a ganglion cyst on my wrist that's a stinger. Maisie, too, had a ganglion cyst on her wrist. And then Sarah goes on to say, people in the olden days used to use a Bible to smash ganglion cysts. It's just fluid. Yes, the doctor told us when we took Maisie to the doctor. Now, granted, Andrea does take her to an Old West doctor, said to hit it with a book.
Specifically a Bible?
No, not a Bible.
Get
not
the
a Bible.
demons out.
No, she said hit it with a book.
Okay, because it just...
And I laughed. I'm like, I thought Andrea was doing like a prank, like a dentist. Like, you know how I can't take anything seriously and it's a flaw?
It just reabsorbs and back into the skin?
Yeah, well, you got to break it.
Okay.
You have to hit it and it hurts.
Okay.
Like it's tender to the touch. And then, yeah, like Maisie and Andrea were talking about it. Maisie's like, oh, yeah, I put my hand out there. You just whack it with a book. I'm like, y'all are nuts. The doctor did not tell you to whack the cyst with a book. That didn't Sure enough, they said the doctor told her, if you want to, you can whack the cyst with a book.
But by the way, if I'm at the doctor, I'm like, you whack it. I paid for this visit.
Exactly. Can you pay the doctor to whack it?
Yeah. If I go whack it myself, then I'm not paying nothing.
Yeah, she had one, and I didn't. I was like, where do you get that? Also, I'm not good with that kind of stuff because, like, Maisie's like, I think I have, like, a thing here. And Andrea's like, mush on it. Andrea's like, it's a cyst. And I'm like, kind of like the period thing we did yesterday. I'm not as good as an island boy. I'm just not. This is another follow-up to the butt boil problem from the last Friday Free Show.
What's going on, T&D Media? It's Concrete Mike. Man, the Friday Free Show, after Seth left, and you took that call from that guy with that carbuncle on his butthole, my God, I was cry-laughing while I'm driving down Highway 44 heading towards Ocala to go to work. Man, I haven't laughed like that since my mom died on August 6th.
Oh.
So, I needed that. Thank you. You guys are so hilarious, man. I love y'all.
We love you too, buddy. I'm sorry
thanks,
that
Mike.
your mom passed away, but I know how I know how
am.
special she was to you, and I know how much that hurts. Sending love to you, Concrete Mike. Our pleasure to have one of our other listeners who's suffering call in.
Then us, we make fun of him.
We make fun. But you know what?
And then
That guy said
makes
it
you
helped
laugh.
too.
Okay, all
That
right.
guy said it helped too.
Maybe if you call us with your different medical problems and we make fun of you, we heal everybody.
New show alert.
Okay.
Dumb doctors. The dumb doctors. We're the dumb doctors. We can solve any problem.
That was called Love That Doctor.
Love that doctor. No, this is called dumb. This is called dumb doctors.
Okay, yeah. You call us and we're like, ew.
Any problem, 1-866-TOM, the letter N, DAN, 1-866-Tom and Dan.
Yeah.
You call in, the dumb doctors will solve your problem. I'm pretty good with stuff like that because I feel like as a hypochondriac,
Okay.
that I have at least 10,000 hours on WebMD.
Yeah.
And that's
you've
the,
experienced every
Morgan Spurlock, right? Like, I put time in.
You've experienced every ailment, real and fake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
You've thought you've had every different ailment throughout
I've got some new ones
49
right now.
years.
I'm currently battling stomach, pancreatic, and liver cancer.
Well, you've had the pancreatic.
I've had those before.
And the stomach, yeah.
And
that's
a
it.
little dash of lupus.
Yeah.
Just
Lupus
a little,
before.
Just
yeah,
a little
yeah.
lupus.
What
MS. I got MS.
Have
too.
you ever done brain tumor?
Oh, plenty of times.
Okay, yeah.
Name anything, and I will honestly tell
lung
you.
cancer?
You know what? That's not one I've done. And I
You never felt like
And I was a cigarette man.
Yeah.
See, none of my ailments make sense. Planes, totally safe, right? Can't get on them. Get on a motorcycle, no helmet, naked, flying down the road as fast as humanly possible. Thank you for calling T&D Medical. This is Dan speaking. How may I direct your call?
Hi, Dan. Is this the Dumb and Dumb Doctor?
This is the Dumb Dumb.
Okay,
This is Dumb
first
Dumb
patient.
Doctors. First patient.
What do you got?
First patient's free.
Yeah, I got pulmonary lung disease. I was just wondering, should I be doing pest control or should I just be sitting on my butt
Charles, you should be sitting on your butt.
butt.
I did not even think of that when you told me you started doing pest control. And yes, I know you have pulmonary lung disease. I don't think you should be doing that. But you need
Isn't
money
that
for
like
your
saying
family.
you got cardiac heart disease? Like it's the same thing. Pulmonary and lung mean the same thing, right?
Yeah, it does. It's the whole entire lung.
Sounds
not
better,
just,
Tom.
you know.
Sounds like you're trying to sell the sizzle, man.
It sounds more medical, damn it.
It does. Charles gets it.
Well, just say you have pulmonary disease. You don't have to even have the lung. It's a fancy pulmonary
I
that
love
sounds
you,
medical.
Charles.
Anyway,
That's hilarious.
Have you ever had? I'm trying to think of. Have you ever
Come on,
done
throw anything at me. I'll tell you if I had it or not.
Skin cancer?
I've actually had skin cancer. Doesn't scare me at all.
And
I've actually had it removed from like pre-cancerous. You know, where they send it away and they're like, "Oh, you had a precancerous." Like, yeah,
precancerous cells.
Yeah, precancerous cells.
Didn't that get you because you're like, oh, if these were precancerous, then they're all precancerous.
I will say that I started wearing sunscreen a lot more. This was after I had left St. Augustine and moved back to Orlando.
What does precancerous? Or just
I don't really know.
This could turn into cancer.
From
like
what
they're
I
damaged.
understand, I would guess that the cellular makeup, when they look at it, there is what do you call that? A defect in it. So
Okay.
it's let's say it's taking on the cellular makeup is taking on maybe characteristics of cancer cells.
And then they could
Not necessarily full-blown cancer, but it's taking on a few characteristics. Look, I'm making this up. This is just what I think.
No. I think that, and then it's like these cells could eventually turn into cancer.
That's what I think.
But or not.
Like free radicals, I think you throw some of those in there, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of like where it's like or maybe it's like the conditions are favorable for cancer here.
What about
I don't know.
mouth cancer?
I have thought I've had mouth cancer, 100%.
Because everyone
I used to get a bunch of sores in my mouth when I was a younger man, and I thought it was from eating the cookie.
That you can get that.
Michael Douglas, right?
It's weird though that he got it in his throat and then not his tongue or gums.
You're doing it wrong. Yeah, what are you doing? Lord, I can't do that. I'm not a diver. For Christ's sake.
Yeah. How's that at work?
What do you think I am? I'm not a sword swallower. I couldn't think of anything else.
All right, we'll play another voice.
All right. Okay. We've been talking about the Tom and Dan coloring books. We've been talking about a lot of the different T-shirts and hats.
When we said that, I got a lot of response from people like, I still got mine. And then people were showing me that they still had theirs.
Yeah, a lot of people like DeBerry Joe.
What's up, Tom and Dan? It's DeBerry Joe. The magnet's pulling hard today. It's Monday night. I'm listening to the OG recap, and you're talking about the coloring books and wondering if anybody has any. Today, I unpacked both of mine. Pristine, brand new looking, not a single piece of crayon on the inside. So yes, Tom, they're still out here. And mine, I haven't even fucking used mine, but it's there.
All right.
God.
Well, thanks, DeBerry Joe.
For nothing.
Thanks for nothing. You call it extra work.
You call in, you curse, you didn't color our coloring book. Should we do another one, or is there a lot of stuff when it comes to this show? And you can be honest with me because we're friends. I think we're friends.
Yeah,
we could be acquaintances. I don't know. In my mind, we're friends. A lot of stuff. The ship sailed, right? Coloring books, koozie. Probably never do a koozie again, right?
I want to go back to fidget spinner.
All right. Tell me where your barometer is. Tell me how you're feeling.
Fidget spinners making his way back.
Fidget spinners are back. What about, remember when we were obsessed with doing, it was like going to be a little plastic stake that you stick in the sand and you can put your drink in it and it keeps your drink from getting sand on the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Everyone needs one of those.
I just threw a bunch of those away when I was cleaning my garage because Crystal had them. I had like 4 of them in the beach bag.
Yeah.
And then Crystal's like, well, what? We've never used these.
Yeah.
And I'm like, of course we have.
It's an unusable invention.
And then I was gonna stick them somewhere, and then I'm punting them in the trash, and I'm like, no one ever uses.
Yeah.
What the hell? I
love a good what the hell. I've also, if you want one more thing to chat about that I've been reluctant to tell you, I have fallen on something that all great dumb old men do at some point.
Yeah.
And I've started hanging novelty flags in my garage in the afternoon.
Okay, all right.
I go through the house looking for any flags we have.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I collected a Deftones flag. That's a good one.
Okay.
I have a Municipal Waste, which is a thrash band. That's a great flag, too. I have 2 Orlando City flags. One is a Publix Orlando City flag. And I am now going to order this afternoon an American-made, hand-sewn American flag.
Okay.
We're flagging it up, baby. I'm flagging up my garage.
Now, where are you hanging them? Like just on the walls?
I'm pinning them to the wall like an old man does.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I'm pinning them to the walls.
Is that because you spent extra time?
I sit in there now.
Yeah.
It's my sitting room. And now here's another thing I did. I bought one of those big. Well, I didn't buy it. I've had this thing for years, but I cleaned it up. It's one of those metal like fans you would use to cool like a flooded mud room or something. You know?
Yeah.
Like those big metal fans that used it
like a big garage fan.
Yeah, like an air mover. So I have one of those. So I have that in the garage, and then I have 3 other like tiny fans just put all over the garage, pointed towards the center. So my one stool is in the center of the garage, and I can sit in the center with a beer and just have all the fans blow on me while I'm listening to country music with my dog.
My grandfather, he liked to sit in his garage.
It's awesome.
And he just sat in his garage, looked out into his yard, and did that every day in the afternoon. And that's where he'd sit.
Have you tried sitting in your garage? It's awesome.
It's full of junk. Mine's completely full of junk.
Okay.
So I cannot sit in there.
Let
but
me
I go
help
to
you
my
clean
backyard.
It.
It's impossible to clean it.
It's similar though because it's quiet, right? It's just you in your backyard.
Well, but I can't sit. I just do work constantly.
Well, I tinker and I throw things away. Like I'm constantly throwing things away.
Yeah.
Here's another thing I'm doing that I'm getting a little pushback from my wife. But my buddy Shane, who wired up my scooter, that's another reason why I'm spending more time in there. I'm like waxing the scooter. I'm moving things around. I'm organizing the charger. Now I'm getting my ruckus ready I got to clean the carburetor on that one, and then I'm gonna get them both up and running.
Carburetor, make that one electric too.
I gotta want to. I just don't have the money right now. But I've started putting stickers all over the walls. I'm really junking up this garage.
Okay, stickers on the walls.
This is not gonna be a Matt Mormon garage. Do you remember the garage I used to have at the little house?
Yeah.
I'm going back there, baby. Where it was punk rock stickers everywhere.
Yeah.
I had a dream that I hired Earl Funk, our tattoo buddy, to do a painted mural in my garage.
Oh, you want to go mural?
I want to go mural.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I enjoy sitting in my garage. I love it.
So you want to turn it into that with that hardcore club I went to that like just all stickers and bric-a-brac on the walls. Yeah. It's like a little
Whiskey
punk rock Whiskey Lou's.
Yeah, I want my own personal Whiskey Lou's so I can just pee on the ground. Yell at my dog.
But it's also that aesthetic is kind of like Key West dollar bar.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely Baldwin Park's Toby Keith. They call me Little Toby around here.
You know, where the hole inside of the bar is just a bunch of stapled dollars, bras,
I like
posters,
that. It's horny,
murals.
money, horny. It's bras. That's what I am. I like money and I like boobs. You know. But I definitely like that. Now, no offense to our good friend Matt Mormon, and I would like, and I know you've talked to him. Next time we have him on, I'm going to run him through some pictures of my bric-a-brac old man garage because his garages look like Apple stores.
Yeah, they're all streamlined, high tech.
That's not what I'm going for. I'm going for more like Kid Rock's master bedroom.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
You know, like flags everywhere, stickers everywhere.
Yeah. More of a sausage castle.
Yeah, more of a sausage castle. Yeah, it's not. That was a bad analogy because it's less political. There's no political allegiance there. It's just Orlando City flags, a Publix sticker.
Yeah. But it is like a punk rock bar. Or just a bunch of stuff.
Like Pabone's band, they made my garage. So I put a TV Generation sticker in there.
Yeah, okay.
Virginity, friends of the show, Casey Crawford, I put his band. I put a sticker in the garage.
Yeah.
Bands that I know, the Pauses, I put a sticker of them in there because I like that band. They're a local Orlando band. Like, I'm going back to the stuff that I truly enjoyed from years ago. And I started telling this to Andrea, and she's like, well, why haven't you done this before? And I was like, I honestly don't know. I don't know why I fell out of all of these different little things like motorcycles and music and collecting stickers and spending time in my garage. That was what I did.
Well, you got your scooter back, and then that, prompted you
Gave
to
me my confidence back.
start doing some stuff, because now you got a new project. Although that will get old, then you'll go back upstairs.
It's already old. It's already old. I'm already over it.
Then you want a new thing.
I already want a new thing. I was like, this is so old. It's so boring.
Well, because you got a micro burst of endorphins, like a reel, but then it goes away so
I'm
fast.
a shopaholic. I'm a shopaholic, baby.
Yeah. You need another micro burst of endorphins. More and more.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a break. We'll be right back with more of Corporate Time. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. We've got Scotty and Rachel here from the Orange County Regional History Center.
Hey.
How you guys doing?
Great. How are you?
Very good to see you guys. Sorry for the siren. I just feel it's like a lucky thing now. It's like if we don't do it, I feel like it's like a bad omen.
Is that just for us, or that's just anybody?
It's for everybody. I'm not going to lie to you. Whenever we have guests in, I call it a blast. I give everybody.
In the future, we'd like our own sound.
Okay.
Please.
You know what? I appreciate you being honest with me, and you are heard. Okay, I want to validate what you're saying and let you know that the next time you're here, you will have your own sound.
Could you talk to Brendan for me?
Okay, I can do that. Is there a communication problem that I need to address? We can do that. You are heard, and next time you are here, I think you'll be impressed with what I've done.
Looking forward to it.
So, Scotty, tell us what's going on with the History Center coming up.
Well, we've got today we're going to be talking about Rachel's Lunch and Learn that's coming up in September.
Yes.
Which I think you're all going to find kind of interesting. And
I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to say
talk
that.
about
I'm
other
sorry.
things, but that's the thing most eminent.
So September 5th, Lunch and Learn. Tell us a little about, before we talk to Rachel, about this particular topic. What is Lunch and Learn?
Oh, sure. We do these monthly. Usually they're the first Friday, but sometimes things happen and we can't do it on that particular date. But it'll be noon to 1. Lunch and Learns are, you can do it a couple of different ways. You can come and see us in person. You can come and see us in person and bring your own lunch. You can come and see us in person and purchase a lunch through us, or you can even watch it online. The other cool thing about watching us online is you can the closed caption is available online.
Oh, nice.
So
Tom can't read though, so that's no dice for him.
Bringing my leftover fish from the night before to stink up the whole room.
No worries, guys. I've got some leftover scrod and some microwave popcorn. I'll be right out.
Stink up there. It was like, what's this guy eating fish?
Yeah.
Rachel, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. So
you scare Rachel. I guarantee. Yeah. I can see her. I don't know.
Why? I'm a very intimidating person. I like
That's what all intimidating people say.
Like a very bland, like this guy's he's not up to no good.
This guy's boring and can't read.
So Rachel, this Lunch and Learn is about what topic?
Mostly Colonial Plaza, but it's kind of like Colonial Plaza and the era of malls and how it all fits into the growth of Orlando.
Okay, so Colonial Plaza, was that one of the first malls in Central Florida?
Yeah, so I mean, Colonial Plaza in its first iteration was not the first, it originally was more of like what we would think of as like a strip mall.
Okay.
It wasn't the first to do that. But it was definitely like the biggest at the time, and it got a lot of promotion and a lot of attention. So it was just a huge shopping center and really grew with like the suburban sprawl of Orlando.
What year are we talking? The Colonial Plaza
it opened 1956.
Okay, 1956.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
And so in that time, what shops were big in the the Sears? That was inside. This is an outside mall. Like what?
That's an awesome question. I don't know. Were these mainly
Sears and Roebuck?
Mainly like one-off, like mom and pops, or like?
Do you mean like in general in Orlando, or like specifically in Colonial Plaza?
Yeah, in Colonial Plaza.
Yeah. Colonial Plaza opened with like a Publix, 2 grocery stores. Why would you need 2 grocery stores in one plaza? Don't know. 2 grocery stores, one of which obviously was Publix. It had a separate, like not in this strip, but in the same like section, Belk's, and then it had a lot of little like mom and pop stores, some like regional stores as well. There was like Walgreens Pharmacy, McCrory's, and that's also where you have the famous Ronnie's that everyone loves to reminisce about. Yeah.
What's Ronnie's?
A restaurant.
Oh, okay, all right. You know what? I like the sound of that. Ronnie's. What do you get at Ron? What was Ronnie's specialty?
what I hear people talk about all the time is like their pickles and also their
the
customer
pickles were there was a
service
jar
and
of
stuff.
pickles on your table.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
that was a gimmick? A jar of pickles?
I'm Ronnie. I put pickles on every table in a jar. Use your hands. Don't be a P word.
Yeah.
1950s at its finest.
Yeah, exactly.
My wife always gets so mad at me when I'll have hamburger pickle chips, and then I'll just reach in there and finger
what
one
are you,
out.
some kind of animal? And finger one out.
Yeah.
You did a swizzle with your hand, sir. That is not
And then
allowed.
she's like, use
right.
a fork.
She's right.
And I'm like,
you were picking your nose. You were getting bread out of your teeth.
I'm like,
you're supposed to use a fork, and then you lay a double-sided paper towel on there, and then you lay your hamburger chips out, and then you take the other side and you lay it on top of them to dry them. So when you put them on your burger, they're not wet.
No.
Do you see the
my
difference in the
goodness.
two personalities here?
I like a sloppy chip. And then also, then I'm like, we're all the same family. Who cares? Like, I just and there's so
It's
much
gross,
vinegar,
man.
it kills the germs in
No,
there.
people say that, but I don't believe that. No doctor's ever told them to go home and put some vinegar on it.
So, like, why particularly like Colonial Plaza as a highlight for like Central Florida malls? Was it the most famous old school mall in Central Florida, or like?
I mean, I
Plaza?
guess you could say that. It kind of started a lot of the like shopping mania, or I guess it grew with the shopping mania because that happened nationally, but it definitely kind of started it within Orlando because originally Orlando and most any city, all of the like downtown all the shopping was like downtown on their main streets. So with Colonial Plaza, that's when it starts to spread outward with the suburbs. And also with Colonial Plaza is it became this kind of weird like Frankenstein mall because every like decade it would just kind of grow and they would just like tack more stuff onto it.
God, yeah.
Like my old house. Everything was just an addition.
Yeah.
Until eventually I was like, I have to leave this place.
You can't add anymore.
It's like,
Yeah, and is it also like kind of it shows you what the whole nation, like you mentioned, was doing, where like
consumer society. Would
yeah,
be,
Yes.
like
you know.
consumerism, and
Yeah.
like even going to one place with a bunch of stores instead of going to each individual store, that was becoming a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So part of I cover a lot of this in my presentation, but the guy that started like what we have as like the modern concept of the mall is this guy named Victor Gruen, and he's this Austrian American, and he opened the first like enclosed mall in 1956 in oh my god, I forgot the state. Minnesota. It's one of the M states, but there's so many M states, and I always get them all confused.
We'll just go with Minnesota.
It makes sense, isn't that where like Mall of the Americas is, and like
I think so.
Minnesota.
It's I think it's one of the M states. Anyway, regardless, Victor Gruen. But so that became like the trend, and his idea was because we were becoming such a car dependent country, and also the consumerism was on the rise as well. With post-war, it was in the 1950s, so we just gotten out of World War II, and everyone is kind of experiencing this prosperity. So the idea was create this centralized space where people can just park their car, and really Victor wanted it to be more the mall to be surrounded by suburbs, so people don't even have to drive there. You can just walk on your sidewalk to the mall, and so it's less car dependent. But then it became not that at all, and Victor ends up going and saying that what malls have become is a bastardization of his. That's a quote.
Oh,
from him.
I love it.
He says that word.
I love it when creators.
You bastardized my vision.
I love it when their vision gets destroyed.
He ends up saying like, I want nothing to do with what this has become because this is not my original vision.
Spit on it.
Yeah. You kind of did that with the studio. And my vision of what the studio was going to be. And I was going to be on the top of this huge,
he wanted
structure.
he wanted like
on a throne.
Some sort of a platform throne.
With a bunch of TVs.
And I made it a lot more comfortable, and like inviting.
And
I put a coffee machine in here.
And then as I talk, a robotic head.
Moves.
Moves like.
Why do you bother me?
That's what I wanted. But instead we got this.
Well, he was going for a Great Oz kind kind of a vibe.
So intimidating.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's you intimidate your guests.
I'm going to put you guys on the spot right now. Favorite Orlando malls. Let's go. Let's do it. Fashion Square before it became a prison. Well, I love Fashion Square. I'm a big fan of Fashion Square Mall. I loved it. I still love it. Like if I don't even know, is it like, can you walk around in there? There's a radio station in there.
We Brendan and I did it not too long ago, and it's weird. Like there's a Spencer's in there, but the Spencer's has a great big AC unit in the middle of the floor because the AC isn't working.
Oh, it's a sad Spencer's.
Yeah. I like Florida Mall because no one inside is from Florida.
Yeah, that's a fun fact. A lot of people don't know that. Here's another mall.
Like, weird you named it this.
I was trying to dig through my rotten mind to try and think of all the mall knowledge I have about Central Florida.
Yeah.
And one of my most favorite things is I was actually broadcasting at the time when Millennium Mall debuted. They had a dress code. Do you remember that?
I don't remember the dress code.
Yeah, you can look it up. They had a dress code for I want to say for a week until we all rebelled and we're like, well, we'll burn this thing down. We're hillbilly.
I think I remember this.
Yeah,
or it's like you couldn't wear a jersey or something.
Yeah, they had
it was like going into
no hip hop looks.
It was like slightly racist.
It was slightly racist.
No backwards hats or jerseys.
No hip hopping. Okay, can we have some rock and roll and some good old country music?
Now I'm sure it's because of the tourists. They couldn't really,
They had a dress code. It was probably about tank tops. Yeah, forever I heard all of my buddies that worked in food service, especially if they were at a high-end restaurant that was anywhere near the parks, that would always complain that like people from other places would come in with a tank top on. And I'd laugh because I'd be like, no, that's just regular Florida guys going in there. It's probably the people from Europe are fine.
It's particularly like a Labor Day for Mall at Millennia.
Yeah.
The deals you can get in there.
No,
yeah.
Now, like when during your talk, do you kind of talk about now what malls have turned into? Basically now the current state of malls?
Yeah, I'll talk a little. I mean, it's really long. I need to time it and make sure that I have enough time. But I do want to go into the current state of and the idea of the dead mall and these weird liminal spaces that they've become. But also what can be done with that space and kind of bringing back that idea of new urbanism, which is the Victor Gruen was a precursor of new urbanism, bringing that back because I remember hearing something somewhat recently about the Oviedo Mall having a plan of building apartments on top of it, and that would kind of revitalize stores being leased out and the bottom, and having that you have store space on the bottom and living space on top, and you see that in downtowns anyway and other more urban areas. So kind of bringing everything back for full circle. I think that I'll be including some of that as well.
Tom said that he wanted. You wanted Fashion Square to be Alligator Alcatraz Express, just a smaller version in the mall. And I was like, wow, this guy's radical.
There's free alligators everywhere. You just get them. What's interesting about when Amazon and we all were like, oh, malls are dead. I screamed that. And then some malls went out of business.
Tell them about your son. Tell them about your son, Tommy Van.
Well, my son really loves going to the mall because it's
I'm
foreign.
a mall guy.
And then we've seen a resurgence of popularity of malls with kids and Altamont Mall.
Maisie loves it. My daughter loves it.
Florida Mall never stopped being packed.
No.
And then
Florida Mall can be at some points very hard to navigate. There's so many humans inside using it. My God.
It's really interesting. I mean, I used to work at Florida Mall and
Thank you for your service.
Me too. I did too. I worked at Champ Sports in Florida Mall.
That's one of the craziest malls.
I worked in the Florida Mall between 2012 to 2017, I think, at a lot of different stores. But during that time, it was massive for it doesn't look the same anymore in terms of foot traffic. There were so many tourists, and there would be bus tours that would drop people.
Groups.
They would drop people off there and just let them shop, and it was insane. That I remember being on my lunch break. You had 30 minutes for your lunch break, and I had to get all the way down the hall to the food court, and I'd be zigzagging through people, speed walking to try to get there and dodging people because there were so many people, and it's not like that at all anymore.
And then the Verizon wireless guys will be yelling at you to come in.
You need a phone.
Someone wants to straighten your hair.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm wearing my Champs uniform. I work here just like you. Quit trying to solicit
Tell
me.
her what you used to eat every day. What was your standard order at Charlie's?
That was a Charlie's Buffalo Chicken Set. Well, that's because Sam's brother would give it to me free. And
you're healthy now, but there was a minute where you were the gastritis king of Florida. Like every day, it's like a 2-foot spicy cheesesteak with a big curly fry or something.
Then I eat it in the back room of Champ Sports, which is the saddest, and like staring at some
the poster of the broken arm. We have one in our bathroom.
1 AM radio. But what's interesting about the malls is, like, going back to my son liking malls, is because he never experienced, like, I grew up with my mom forcing me to go to the mall, which caused me to dislike going to the mall in the process and stuff because I was forced to by my parents.
I was going with my mom to shop for swimwear.
Yeah, and then it was just like, so then when when the advent of like ordering stuff online came to my generation, I was like, oh, this is way easier. But then my son never got to go to the mall. So then when he first went, he was like, whoa, there are all these things on the, like, I just walk through and just look around. There's like so much stuff.
What was the store you said he was in that he was like, no, I don't want to, he was just walking around like.
No, he didn't even want to buy anything. He just wanted to go around and look at all the stuff.
Window shopping.
Yeah, it was different than looking at it digital.
It's a lot more fun than people used to give it credit. I like going to the mall and just walking around with my daughter. I don't buy anything, but
it was
I enjoy it.
A foreign experience to him, so therefore he's drawn to it, and he's like, oh, let's go to the mall. And then I'm like, oh, it's weird, I never foresaw this happening, you know, like, and so it does seem to be surviving in and really only a couple malls have shut down, that with the Seminole Town Center is done, but they're repurposing it, so it's not totally shut down. They're just putting a new spin on the space and like stores.
What are they doing in Seminole Town Center?
I heard they're
Elevate's still there, right?
Yeah, Elevate, and then they're putting in like a Costco and certain things
that's right. They are putting in a Costco
that are not going to go away because people still need low price, groceries and things like that, and like in stores that are like, mattress stores, like some furniture stuff, like people don't. Although my sister-in-law just bought a couch online, which we were like, you bought a couch online? Don't you need to sit on it? And she's like, no.
It's crazy, but I bought my car online without sitting in it one time. I just bought it and it,
Yeah, because it's all the standard. It's like, here's, you don't need to. So what do you think as far as like what could make malls popular again, or is it just gonna have the younger generation is gonna yearn to want to go to some place they could all really, it's just like young kids, just like we did, go to a place to hang out. It's like a central place, like, hey, let's meet up here, we could walk around together, there's a bunch of things to look at,
some stuff to eat.
To eat. It's like one central place to go hang out.
Did you guys go to the mall as kids?
I mean, definitely. I mean, I grew up in Ocala, so I went to the Paddock Mall.
I remember Paddock Mall. Yeah.
But I think that I see that there's definitely trends towards, yearning for things that we used to have in the, 90s, 2000s, even earlier. But like I was at a bar the other day and I saw some people younger than me that had a camcorder. And I see people wanting dumb phones now. They want like a flip phone that I had when I was in high school. They don't want the smartphones anymore. Right. They want to kind of go back to that older
analog
era. Right. So I kind of see, and then people are also talking about the need for third spaces as well, and talking about the mall as a third space during that time. And so I see people kind of wanting those things back a little bit. So I think that it could definitely have a resurgence, and especially if we, repurpose them and incorporate that new urbanism where we build living space on top, like above the malls. So it really re-energizes the space that's already there and brings in, more tenants in the stores.
For sure. Ghost of Manu Bull in our Twitch chat room says, I was a fat kid who ate pizza and spent all of my money on Dance Dance Revolution at the mall. Dance Dance Revolution, an amazing game, and most of your excellent players were your well-fed gentlemen. but they never lost much weight. You would think that they would have. They're dancing their butts off, you know, but they are bigger boys.
My previous roommate had a Dance Dance Revolution, like, legit pad that he used that as, like, he would play Dance Dance Revolution as exercise in our house.
I like that.
It was like the old school, like in the 80s, where the track running Nintendo.
Yeah, but you would just use your hands.
This is, my hands are easier.
Nintendo made a pad you could run on in the early 80s. I want to say like 85, 86.
It was the initial Dance Dance Revolution.
I remember my babysitter like brought it over. She had it for her kids or something. I don't know. It was like an older lady. I remember she plugged it in, and I remember I was the one that figured out you could just use your hands.
Yeah.
And just sitting there playing. Instead of running, you would just you just tap it like a drummer, you know, and you'd win every time.
You know, like we were talking about this earlier today with like how the internet is going to change the future cities and the layouts of how the like engineers will lay out a city, because it's like we don't need necessarily the stores to be on the main roads so that people can see them off. You know, it's like your phone tells you where the store is. You know, I've seen this a lot too.
Storefronts aren't as, you know, aren't as popular as they used to be.
So then in certain parts of even Central Florida, you'll see like, and it's kind of sad, like all these storefronts are kind of run down because they don't have the foot traffic anymore. So like the landscaping's all grown up, and then the store's like dilapidated and stuff. And it's like, I wonder what these are going to be turned into in the future, and where stores are going to be located when you don't need them to be off of the main busy road anymore. You know, like, and even how billboards work. Like, you know, billboards are still a thing, but it seems like an antiquated thing now.
Yeah, what's the new purpose?
Especially when there's no drivers. Think about that. Like, if you go far enough into the future, it's like when you're not driving anymore, you're not even looking out the window. Are your cars going to have windows? You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Yeah, you can make it interesting. You can
make digital windows.
Yeah, I can make it anything I want. I'll make it the Harry Potter train. Remember, that's a hologram. You know, I'll just make it anything I want. I'll make my car drive me with no windows. Then when I get home, I'll watch the footage of how I drove. Very backwards.
Yeah. Or is it all going to be like, because we, you know, going back to us predicting all malls will be dead, and it's like that didn't happen.
No.
Only 2 out of the 10 local.
Well, you could say that we had too many, right? And we probably have now what we need.
Yeah,
and
or maybe
then if we get another one or something. Remember Artagon, R.I.P. There's one.
Yeah, there's a
Mercado, R.I.P. There's one.
And I've heard like, you know, the Oviedo Mall is you know, on the decline, and there's some that are like stage 4. You know, the West Oaks has got to be stage 4.
Some of the West Oaks is in hospice right now. Currently, 100%. So get your visits in now.
Yeah. And then I know that there's been plans to turn some malls into like, you know, living spaces and stuff like that, which would be weird. Living like, you know, like
no, they already did it
condos inside the mall.
Seattle. Didn't they do it, or
Did they?
Some big city? They did it, and a really high-profile couple that I'm blanking on their name, like influencer people, got married in the mall, and they live in the mall. And the mall is a 2-story mall, and the entire top is all on that second floor where you would normally have like the glass and you look over.
All living space.
It's all living space, and people live up there. They're very tiny apartments though. Like they're about the size of this room with like a little efficiency area, like a quartered off bathroom area, and then like a bed. But it's really cool, and they make it affordable, and they give you like, they kind of like, they don't pay you, but they give you a good incentive to move in.
Right.
It looked really cool, but it's just, it wouldn't be enough for like a family like what I have. But if I were a single dude, it would be really cool.
So again, if you want to hear Rachel present to you some of the Central Florida history of malls.
Yeah, chat room loves your hair, by the way. I can't let you get out of here without giving you your compliments.
That isn't fair. They can't see my hair.
Yeah, I know. They can't. And it looks better than it ever has today, Scotty. I'm just going to say, you would actually, if you could be seen, you would beat out Rachel.
It's September 5th. It's the Lunch and Learn. What's the times again, Scotty?
Starts at noon.
Okay.
It's noon to 1, and it's anywhere from free to $17. Depending if you're a member, it's free, but then you can get lunch, and so but very affordable.
Awesome. Yeah, and thehistorycenter.org.
Yes.
Just become a member. It's the easiest way.
That way, when you're bored, you won't be.
Yeah,
because you'll have something to do.
Rachel, thanks so much for coming by. We
appreciate your
appreciate
time.
it.
Yeah, thank you.
And we will see you tomorrow.